Senator Cantwell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for holding this important hearing, and thank you for including the Roadless Area Conservation Act, which would codify the 2001 Roadless Rule, which protects nearly 60 million acres of pristine national forests in 39 states. There are about 2 million acres protected of roadless forests in the state of Washington, and obviously the idea had been, let's not keep building roads everywhere, obviously take advantage of the lower forest to get timber, and then obviously keep some of our most pristine forests. Some of the most visited areas of outdoor recreation in Washington are these areas, and they help drive a $26 billion economy in our state. So we're excited to keep it. The Tongass is another special place. I know my colleague is here from Alaska. We may not share the same views on this, but I know she thinks the Tongass is a very, very special place. And, you know, it is clean water and carbon sequestration and unmatched recreational and tourism opportunities and wildlife habitat supporting hunting and fishing and commercial activities. But obviously, if we cut down most of those forests, some of them 800 years old, that economy goes away. So we know that fishing, and I'm talking now in many parts of my state and others also are supported from these forests, and clearly with 370 miles of Forest Service road, they have a $5.9 billion backlog of maintenance. So instead of the Forest Service maintaining the existing system, this administration wants to rescind the longstanding roadless rule to potentially buy more roads the Forest Service will not be able to take care of. In addition, the roadless area rule ensures that more than 240 million people living within the 100 miles of the national forest continue to have pristine public forests where they can fish, hunt, and recreate. That is why my colleague and I from Arizona, Senator Gallego, and I reintroduced the Roadless Area Conservation Act. And I wanted to ask you, Ms. Torres, I think my numbers are right about this, but obviously this economy has broader importance to the U.S. outdoor recreation economy. Do you think the sector will take a hit if we repeal the roadless rule?
Thank you, Senator. I mean, I think generally the outdoor recreation economy takes a hit anytime we remove stability and certainty. You know, we are all talking today about planning ahead, and the outdoor recreation economy also needs to plan ahead. They need to submit for permits. They need to ensure that those areas are going to provide what the visitor wants to see. And if you remove things and add roads and add other things, it takes away from that experience.
And the challenge is we already have this backlog that we're not dealing with. So, Mr. French, did the administration do an assessment on the fiscal costs of rescinding the roadless rule in terms of how much taxpayers would be asked to pay for new roads in these pristine areas?
Well, the roadless rule doesn't compel road construction. All it does is change the restrictions we have in roadless areas for doing other work that is necessary for healthy forests and protecting communities. The primary driver of this, as I said earlier, is that there's more than 24 million acres that are within our wildland-urban interface or within a mile of it within roadless that we can't effectively treat right now to protect communities. And faced with the choice of protecting the community versus the inherent cost of providing access to thin those forests, we're going to make that choice to protect those communities.
Yeah,
I also recognize
we're talking about very special places that oftentimes are at much higher elevations and definitely don't have communities that are right adjacent to it. But
we have more than 24 million acres that are directly adjacent to communities.
I'm well aware of where our forest lands are, and my state has probably done some of the best treatment available. Even the chairman of this committee came and helped have a hearing with me at Seattle University and talked about this years ago when the fires were rampant. But guess what? We started doing better planning and better treatment and promoting CLT and basically trying to basically saying, let's get better management of our forests. We can do both things. We can basically have better treatment policies and say that some areas really don't need roads built into them, because why, with all the backlog, do we need the more roads? This is about, I think Senator Rich did a great job of coming here and explaining how, as governor, he helped implement this policy in his state of Idaho, and it was a smart policy because he made the decisions, and then he got cost effectiveness for taxpayers, and he also got the outdoor economy that he wanted to see. So I feel like we can do both, and I hope that we can do both. But I think the issue here is that we already have backlogs on roads that I'm sure many of our colleagues would agree do need to be dealt with. And so the issue is the juggernaut of the outdoor economy, are we going to continue to keep it and protect it? And I will meet with you or anybody in the administration to get a better plan on cross-laminated timber. To say to the mills, I'll guarantee you a price of long-term contracts, you can do treatment, and you put it into cross-laminated timber, this is a winning strategy. And the Colville, which had, I don't know how many in one fire, I think $2 billion worth of timber burned up in fire in one fire season, $2 billion worth of timber. So we got to do a better plan than that. But, you know, basically building more roads into the pristine areas, I don't think is the way to do that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.